everybody. I'm just waiting for, I'm sure this starts recording, but I'm waiting for it to go on. And there it is. So here we are. What I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to do the morning, I'm just going to do the daily astrology. You know, yesterday was all about the squares. And today, we're talking about the positive aspects, you know what I mean? We get both, right? Yesterday I just saw like every single thing that was happening yesterday was a squeeze. We're still in that squeeze part, so you guys might still feel that tension, but I also there's good things going on today, so I thought I would highlight that. And I hope this helps your day. You know what I mean? Mercury is trining Chiron. So what this means is like there's an enhanced ability to uncover hidden problems that have been pushed down and walled away. So these are like old traumas, that things we don't talk about, but they still hurt us. You know, we try not to think about them, but these are like PTSD events. Sometimes they come back, you know, in our dreams and things. But in this energy, we're uncovering these things. And this energy is like encouraging us to notice patterns of behavior, like bringing that up, like going like, wow, this is old. Like I did this when I was a kid, you know, this. And what ends up happening is you end up accepting things as they are and then healing, you know, because it's acceptance that heals us. So today, we're going to easily tune into our deeper issues. So be ready for that, and be ready for the healing that comes with that, with acknowledging that it's there. You know. Now, also, what's happening is the sun is conjunct Mercury, which is also a good aspect. It's like light shining on all mental processes. It's a good day to promote ideas or schedule a good conversation, you know, a vital one, something you've been wanting to do for a while, save for a while. It's also a good time to negotiate and sign contracts today. So, any kind of communication is great on this day with this conjunction. So, it's like, right. Call that person, you know. Just use that communication because it's the sun is shining on it. So, I just feel like it's a really good day to like get those things done, you know. The next one is Uranus sextile Neptune. This is about being more open and freedom, you know, about what you believe, about what your spiritual beliefs are, about what your morals are, what your, you know, your ideals are, um, you resist being told what to think in this energy, like, right, you know, so you're actually questioning the things that you were told that were truth. I think I've talked about this before on my channel, like I use the example of cheese, you know, like my mom only bought mild cheese when we were kids, and she just assured me that I was going to hate anything but mild cheese. And it turns out it's not true. Like, I really love extra sharp cheese. So it's like, are you going to just believe what people tell you, or are you going to experiment and try on your own? Like, what do I really like? Do I really like just mild cheese, or do I like all of it? You know, or do I just like some of it? It's just like this energy. It's not about cheese though, but right, it's about your beliefs. It's about your spiritual beliefs, mostly, because that's what Neptune is about, right? um, I think today you're going to be able to think bigger, right? You'll be inspired maybe to do something, maybe to create something. You're a visionary today. And your messages are kind and gentle. So when you think about this beautiful thing, Uranus sextile Neptune, in addition to the sun conjuncting Mercury, where you're communicating well, right? And you're kind and gentle in your messages. Now really is the time. Today is the time to like write the chapter, write the chapter in your book. Just make some time and do it. Do whatever it is that you're being inspired to do, right? Next one is Neptune sextile Pluto. So Pluto, it's the thing that just like clears the way, right? It's the death and rebirth planet. It's clearing out, right? So you're looking at what you really believe in this Uranus sextile Neptune. And then next to Neptune sextiles Pluto, it says, okay, now that you know what you believe and what you don't believe, let's let go of the shit that's not real, and just walk down this new path and see what it's like. Believe in yourself and your ability to create your own truth, your reality and your environment, right? This is also a forgiveness energy. You know, um, it's like in this energy, you're understanding the freedom, the healing that comes when we forgive, not just other people, but ourselves too. You know what I mean? Sometimes we're pretty hard on ourselves for making mistakes. But who says they're mistakes? Like, who's putting a label on any decision we ever make, right? And I kind of feel like that's the reality that we're looking at today. This is our life. This life that you live is yours and yours alone. The decisions are yours, they're yours to do whatever you want. So I feel like there's a lot of freedom feeling today, like that kind of feeling like, God, I am free. I'm free to feel, to believe, and to be who I want, who I am inspired to be, right? So the next one that I wrote down was the Sun trine Chiron, also a positive aspect. This is like the sun is shining on renewal and deep healing. Chiron is that wounded healer, right? It's the trauma, the hell that we hold on to. And I feel like, the sun is shining on that trauma. So I feel like all of us are going to be more aware of the deeper issues today. And you're going to, I think, be able to like really pinpoint where the wounds come from. You know what I mean? Like sometimes we have this feeling and we don't really know. Like maybe it's something that happened when we were 6 months old and we don't know. We buried it, right? But like this sun shining on it, on the Chiron, is saying like, it's really going to show you today. Profound healing is possible, but it begins with acceptance of what is already there, right? And so when I was writing this down, I was thinking about like, what does this really mean? Like, how do we accept what is already there? And what is that talking about? It's talking about the past trauma and maybe like the path that it set you on. It's the reality of our path, our soul plan, right? So maybe the issue happened when you were really tiny and you had no control over it, right? But you kind of did because in soul form you chose your parents, you chose the setting, you chose everything about how you were going to begin. And so I think like once we like wrap our head around that, and you might be too, because you're free to believe whatever you want. And here's the way I feel about belief. I feel like it's fluid. You know what I mean? Like, as I learn more, my beliefs are altered a little bit more. The more I study, the more I actually try it on. I try on the belief. You know what I mean? Like a hat. Like I have a hat collection, so or shoes, like I love shoes and hats. So you could use either one of these analogies, but it's almost like when you put on, let's use the hat. We put on the hat, and how does it make you feel? You know what I mean? How you wear it around for a while, maybe it's heavy. Maybe it makes your head sweat. And so you take the hat off and you're like, no, this doesn't really feel very good, right? And this is what I do with my belief system, especially spiritual beliefs, because they've just changed so much in my life. And I try it on for a while, and if it feels good. Like if it doesn't make me sweat and it doesn't feel heavy on my head, it feels good. It feels, yeah, I'm not worried about it being on my head. I'm not worried that the wind's going to blow it off. It fits my head. It fits me. Then I keep the hat. I keep the belief until it doesn't feel good anymore. You know what I mean? And so I just wanted to say that because we are all completely in control of what we believe. And if you believe in the law of attraction, what you think about, you bring about. So, what are you believing? What do you want to believe? What do you want your life to look like, right? I feel like what I'd like to do is get some cards and read about um, some of these transits today, like Mercury trine Chiron, right? This is like kind of like looking at your past, looking at the trauma, all the stuff that you pushed down that you haven't talked about. And maybe you don't even know where exactly it started, but it's some kind of feeling. Let's see what Mercury trine Chiron is doing for us today. Spirit, can you tell us what's this going to look like in our day? These are all positive aspects, so I'm kind of excited to see it. Five of Forces. What can I do to help myself? That's the first card out. Like, what can you do to help yourself? What can you do? You know, you can try on a new hat, right? And see if it feels good or not. Waterfall, Six of Forces. This is like making your mark on the world, or it's like saying like whatever you're dealing with this Mercury trine Chiron, it has affected you. You know what I mean? Like it has been an emotional thing and it's definitely left its mark on you. Do you see how the waterfall, like over time, cuts that mountain right in two? It does. I mean, it could cut that mountain right in two and just become a river, you know? It can and it will, right? And so that's what it's saying about these wounds, you know? I feel like you're going to realize maybe what the point was, you know, and maybe this is like a lifelong journey that you chose. I'm sure it is. Right. So now is the 21 card. It's time to dig into your truth, clearing out old beliefs, Uriel and the Sphinx. So this is kind of like, I mean, when you look at this card and it's talking about what's going on. It's talking about very carefully sweeping away the debris until they found the Sphinx underneath. You know, like think about being an archaeologist and you go into a place and you know it's like got all kinds of shit there. You got to be careful. You might break it, you might ruin it, right? So you got to like tiny little broom it, a little tiny bit at a time. And that is what is happening with you. Uncovering the truth of you, of who you came to be and why. What is your deepest truth? That's what you're figuring out while the Mercury is trying Chiron. You're figuring out all of that. Like, who am I at my core level? You know what I mean? Let's talk about the sun shining on Mercury, you know, letting your light shine on all the mental processes, right? So what is happening here today? Okay, the ascent. Um, when you apply yourself, you can do anything. This is about climbing a big mountain, right? Sun conjunct Mercury. This is about the sun shining on all mental processes, your thoughts, your actions, your words, right? And in the middle here, it's two worlds. And this is about seeing the polarity. So I feel like this is kind of like being honest with yourself about the polarity of you. You know what I mean? Like we have this spirit, this soul inside of us, you know, and we have this human. So we have two, and it's really kind of sometimes very difficult to line those two up because our human is very scared and it's hard to make decisions. It's hard to speak our truth, you know, but not if you're tapped in, right? Not if you're tapped in. And I kind of feel like maybe what they're saying to talk about, and I think it's going to be hard for you, but I think maybe what you're talking about here is your ascent. you know, like the climb to the top of that freaking mountain. It doesn't look easy. You know what I mean? Like it looks kind of like, if you think about it, have you ever thought about scaling a mountain and like trying to? I have. And I think it would be super fun and scary. But I think I would like it, right? I think I would if I could get rid of the fear. I probably would never get off the ground, 2 feet off the ground probably. I look at it from here and I'm like, God, that looks cool. But then when I would really be at the bottom of the mountain, I don't know if I would want to. But let me just tell you that I think what you're talking about here, or what you're being, the lights being shined on here, is you and the path that you've been on. You know, and I feel like maybe it's time to really like put all those things together and speak about it. You know what I mean? Because I feel like you have something to build. You know what I mean? I feel like there's money in your story. I don't know why, but I feel like, you know, what I mean by money is value, right? So there's value in your story. You can build something with it. You can, you can make money off of it too. I'm feeling like if you would get out of your head and speak about this or write about it or whatever you're being called to do, I feel like it could start like a brand new life for you, is what I'm seeing here. Let's look at Uranus sextile Neptune. This is kind of like about being more open, being free about your beliefs, right? Resisting being told what to do. You're figuring out what you believe on your own. Let's clarify that, Spirit. Six of Roses, the War of the Roses. So this card is really about a kind of kind of like a duel or something, like a standoff between your higher self and you know. Um, that's what this card is kind of like showing, the War of the Roses. And when you read on the card, it just really, the message is get off the field. Just quit trying to fight it. You know, there's no winning, human. Like there's no winning sometimes. You know, so get off the field. This is like more than what you are, right? More than what the human is. There's something that the soul wants you to know. And it could be about your beliefs. Like maybe there's some beliefs holding you back here, right? Like ego stuff, right? Like this is like the ego. This is the ego card. So this could be meaning like um you know, living inside of your human so much that you can't hear your soul. And that, I mean, I'm seeing that in a couple of spots, right? So where you're trying to, you know, human is trying to take care of everything. But like the whole thing is like, it's all about alignment. It's all about body, mind, soul moving same direction. Nobody's holding the other back, you know. So it's about power and balance and expression, right? So this card here is about having a balanced message, having a gentle message, having a kind message. So I think that's what is being worked on here, as you try on all your different hats and feel which one feels good to you. And the reason that I'm using hats, but it's really like what feels good inside of you, what feels good to your heart, what feels good to your mind, what feels good to your soul. You know what I mean? So let's look and see about the Sun trine Chiron. This is about renewal and deep healing. Let's see what that looks like in the tarot. Okay, so you've got the Akashic Library. Okay, so tapping into that Akashic Library, looking at the truth of your story. You know what I mean? And balance. Profound healing is possible with this transit. So this sun trine Chiron is like a sun shining on past trauma. So what I feel like you're doing is the Akashic Library. You're looking in a little deeper, you know. You're asking your higher self, like, is this really what I had planned as a child? Did I really plan parents? Did I really plan my life? So I feel like you're doing a lot of research on maybe your past, on maybe you're speaking to spirit, like, right? You're having a lot of spirit communication about this. I feel like tapping into the Akashic. You definitely need, your higher self to do the guiding here. And then here comes the balance card. So I feel like this is going to change things for you, bring in balance. This is a Libra card. This is also about raising your vibration and changing the way you feel. It changes the way you feel about your life because you're figuring it out. I kind of feel like you're reaching for spirit and they're actually directing you where to look, and they're showing you what to look at. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like. I do feel like, honestly, while you're doing this, I feel like there could be some, like, I don't know, um new spiritual gifts coming in, is what I feel like, right? This is the Hilarion card, and it's showing me like a whole bunch of like dead people, spirits behind this guy, like showing him, hanging out with him, watching him. You know what I mean? So as you do the research on your past, on your life, as you reach into the Akashic Library information, which is stored in your DNA, you know what I mean? So as you dig into this knowledge about yourself, your life and you just start to balance out, body, mind, and soul. It's right here. You're uncovering the truth. You have a brand new beginning, maybe even like money oriented, like information coming in for you. You don't get information from spirit for no reason. It's definitely always valuable. And what I see happening here is like maybe losing some of these fear, ego centered kind of things, right? Realizing that everything that did happen left a mark on you, but it's sculpting you into who you came to be. You know what I mean? That's how I'm feeling about this. So that's what I have for the astrology today. I hope it sure helps you. I'm gonna go and be done with this one, and I'm gonna come back with a Gemini reading here in a little bit. So hope to see you then. I love you guys. Have a great day.